With a superior rating, the whole group did. First place in our division, which had 3 other bands with us, or 2 other bands and us. And we had soloists recognized for outstanding soloists being Josie Sheftick. And you see the plethora of people standing up in the back behind the band. That's the percussion section. They could be loud, they could be overbalanced, that kind of thing. No, they haven't been. They were recognized as the outstanding percussion section of the whole festival there. So congratulations. So it has truly been a delight this year. You know, to do music as challenging as this and thoroughly getting into it as much as we have, it's been really, really a lot of fun. And like I say, as good citizens, good students, and good people, they dealt with every little thing that went on in Virginia Beach, from the itinerary not being done until Wednesday afternoon because the venue for the performances changed, or because we were in the traffic jam going to the competition that took 4 times longer than it should have. Of course, other bands were late too, so it didn't matter that much, but we were sitting on a bus for an hour, 40 minutes, 5 minutes. They all were great the whole time. So I thank them especially, and thank you for letting me work with them every single day. It's a wonderful thing. The next group of seniors starts in our tenor saxophone section. He's been with the group for 4 years. He's heading off to VMI for civil engineering and a full ride with the NROTC scholarship. He's one of the most respectful young men I've ever dealt with. I've never been addressed as sir so often in my life. And I'm like, my father is sir. I'm not sir yet. But he always says sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir. It's an amazing thing. I've got to think that Dad was military or something like that, I'm sure. But it's been wonderful working with Anthony. My only pet peeve with Anthony, his posture is like that of a jellyfish. And you know jellyfish don't have spines. Anyway, but when he does stand up, he's so tall, it's amazing. You know, so, but it's been so much fun. And his parting thought to me and to someone else in his section was, don't quit band, stay with it, it's a lot of fun. So, Anthony Garcia. Moving on now to the French horn section. All this talking serves as a good break because Fate of the Gods was killing the Faces of the Brass, and now they get to rest. Jake Blumenstock, 4 years in concert band, section leader for the last 2 years. He can be one of the most infuriating young men I've ever worked with. It's an amazing thing. I can be making announcements, making it very clear, and I call it the informational T. It's the line of students in front of me, and the front row. The little cells behind all that, the information gets nebulous sometimes. And every once in a while I try to test this, and every single gosh darn time, he comes back and says, yeah, it was this, this, and this. I'm like, fine, just be that way. So, but he's been so much fun to work with, and he brought the idea of Star Trek, which is another piece we'll do later on, to me, and we tried it 2 years ago, and it wasn't quite right that year, but this year it's worked out really well. He's heading off to American University to study poli-sci and history. His highlight for the 4 years was probably VB 2014, coming away with that and having a horn section of 6 this year, and just all the fun that he's had. So thank you, Jake Blumenstock. Right next to Jake is cohort in crime, who usually is talking to him or someone else to get information to them. Eden has been wonderful to work with, great sense of humor. She's always fun to work with. It's one of those things that, you know, with being in the horn section, you're always fixing something, whether it's a string on a valve or a mouthpiece that's stuck or something that you have to push in and pull out. And there's so many things on the French horn that you have to do that with. You never know when to stop. So, but it's always fun to work with that. And I wish her all the best as she heads out to San Francisco and starts her studies out there. So Eden Janescu. Now we move on to the trumpet section. In a year that could have been very light on trumpets, we only would have had 5 had it not been for this person. She was attending another school and then decided to come back to HFL. And I couldn't have been more lucky for this particular year to have that happen. Returning from Mercy, she came in, said, I play trumpet, should I come and play for you at some point? I said, yeah, she did, played very well, and she shared co-leadership in the trumpet section with Gabby Wangler, and this is Josie Sheftick. She was a blessing in disguise this year because I didn't expect that, and she went from that point of the year to getting a soloist trophy in Virginia Beach, and being one of those that it will fit in very well, very quickly in the band, and be part of a group. And I think she said this on her little bio sheet. She had a lot of fun getting to know people, and she's really enjoyed it. She's heading off to Canisius College to study bio and psych, and I wish her all the best. Josie Sheftick. All right, now we move on to the first of the trombone section. She was not with us for 1 year, her freshman year, and then joined back up in 10th grade. And she's been back since then and had a great time. I think partially because of Jake Blumenstock. She and Jake are very close, and I think it's worked out very, very well. She's been a nice blessing, and that's in the trombone section because we were a little light a couple years ago, and now we're up to 7, I think, so it's pretty strong. She said on her little sheet, band was always a chore, but something about coming back to it in high school, it's been more fun than ever. And she's really enjoyed it. And she thanked me for Star Trek. I said, well, I can't only thank you guys for that because it was their idea. So she's heading off to the Cleveland Institute of Art for animation and illustration. I wish her all the best. Lisa Hassett. All right, we'll move on to our next selection now that I've talked my face off for a while.